Alrighty. Hello everybody, my name is Cal, short for Calisto, and today I am going to be streaming Cinderella Phenomenon. So what we did last time is that I got to a point where I was doing stuff. Oh, I got Rod's bad end 3 times in a row, so I had to look up a walkthrough so I could actually get the good end, because apparently there are only 2 ends for each boy. And so, yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much all. And then today, we are going to be doing Rod's good end, and then starting Rumple's route. So, as you may know, I have been very excited about Rumple's route, and I was trying to show my friend that Rumple wasn't shady at all. Picture said otherwise. Now, I only glanced at the CGs, so I didn't fully take what was happening, but he did not look happy. He did not look happy-go-lucky, so I've only met 2 other characters that are like this. I mean, 3 if you want to count, you know, the original one. But I'm talking about yanderes. So, I have met 2 so far, in 2 different games. One of them has to be Gion from Dandelion Wishes Brought to You. That's spoilers, I guess. And Toma from Amnesia Memories, which is also spoilers, I guess. But pretty much the trope is that, oh, I'm keeping you and being very possessive just because I want to test my love with you. It's like, no, don't do that. Okay. Yes. And then we're gonna go to Karma, and then we're gonna go to Fitz, and then we're gonna go to Waltz. Ah, how I miss this music. Okay. I'm just gonna continue playing this game from the root. Also, I have garlic bread with me because I ate mozzarella sticks. Also, I should mention the reason why this stream was late was because I looked at the clock while I was going to the bathroom, and then I stopped in my tracks looking at the clock, and I'm like, wait a second. I have a stream today. What time is it? And so I thought it was around 8. Nope. It was 9. So yeah, that's pretty much my experience. Okay. Moments after Rod closes the door, I hear a familiar voice whispering in my ear. Ah, I see. I jump back in surprise and stare at him with wide eyes. Sir Mithras is leaning casually against one of the pedestals. So this is where the prince disappears to every now and then. I had no reason to care before, but now I see it but now I seek it. If my guess is correct, he is also in the league with the Lucis bearer. When I do not answer, Sir Mithras smiles and shrugs. Well, it does not matter. I glance around us and notice the green shield from earlier. Once again, no one will hear this conversation. Now that the prince has confirmed your doubts, what will you do? What will your next course of action be? Do you want to help him break his curse, yes? Ward may have given up on breaking his curse, but I refuse to do nothing. From the way Sir Mithras is taunting me, there must know some other way to break the curse. Also, I should mention that I have, like, multiple canker sores all around my mouth. One is on, like, the left side of my tongue, which is the one that's making my words slur. So, I apologize if my words and pronunciation is not the best right now. Rod will not be happy about this, but I need to use whatever means necessary to save him. Do you know how to break his curse, Sir Mithras? Ah, I will assume that you have not read the full fairy tale if you do not know. Yes, princess, I know. Tell me. Sir Mithras cocks an eyebrow and waves a finger at me. Do you not realize by now that how witches work, princess? I propose a deal. I will help you, but you must help me with something in return. Help you? if you are planning on betraying the king, I have no plans of taking the crown or harming any members of the royal family. What? Then what is it that you would want from me? I prefer keeping you in suspense. I do enjoy surprises. You will find out the day after tomorrow. That is your 18th birthday. I look at him, perplexed. Why does it have to be on my birthday? I just realized this voice sounds a lot like Ciel's from... how did I not pick up on that? How did I not pick up on that? Wait, whoa. Don't worry, Your Highness. What I request from you will also make for a pleasant gift. What do you say? I bite my lower lip as I consider. I'm worried about Sir Mithras' request, but I no longer have time. Fiorca's marriage is tomorrow, and Sir Mithras has the upper hand. I understand. Good. Now remember, dear Calisto, witches are bound to their oaths. In order for the prince to regain his voice in life, something must be taken by force, just like in the fairy tale. What does he mean by that? Tell me what I must do. Oh, I did forget to mention this, but it is not you who must act, but the prince. What? If Rod could help himself, he already would have done so. Please trust me, princess. You will have my aid, and I will make sure the princess curse is broken. Yeah, we already know how that ended. Cinderella Phenomenon. Okay. Today is Fiorca's wedding day and also the day Rod is destined to die. Sir Mithras explained his plan briefly last night. He told me that he would have a valuable item delivered to Rod and he would need to use to break his curse. He further explained that it was something he would need to use after the wedding. I tried to question him further, but he disappeared before I could, saying that he needed to start his preparations. Goddamn, when I take like a munch of something while I'm like in the middle of doing stuff, my mouth gets all watery. Like, it's the same thing with candy too, and I'm like, dang it. No matter how small the bite or the crunch is, it's just... I still get the feeling. I do not completely trust him, but I am running out of time and have no choice right now. The royal family has left the palace to attend Fiorca's wedding. It is unusual for the king to attend another noble's wedding, but Fiorca is an exception, given that she is one of Rod and Emmeline's best friends. You know, I'm glad that from the start of this playthrough, so far, Calisto's voice has evolved from being very abnormally hard to do to being just very casual now. And I feel happy that I've already gotten that used to. It's kind of like doing this voice, except I don't know how I'm going to do this on Kama's route all of the time. Despite Sir Mithras' reassurance, I'm still restless. Sir Mithras told me that everything would be alright, that Rod would not instantly die the moment Fiorca got married. But why must his involvement be reserved for a time after the wedding? Why does he not act now? Looks like someone looks like they're in a bad mood. Oh my god, it's the Dinkle. I don't know. I just realized who that is. Dolores suddenly stands before me, smirking. Her appearance shocks me so badly that I nearly drop the dishes in my hand. What impeccable timing. We've heard from the prince about Mithras. No wonder I was iffy about the man. I should have realized he was the witch. Do you know him? Yes, I do, in fact. Dolores walks closer and places both of her hands on my shoulders. Listen to me, princess. I'm warning you. Stay away from Mithras, do you understand? That man is a sly devil. He cannot be trusted. I take a deep breath to still my rapidly beating heart. Probably both from being scared and also, you know, I hope I will not regret asking for his help. You will. Princess, I need you to promise me that you'll stay away from Mithras. Yes, of course. Good. For the time being, I will resume my investigation. If I'm lucky, I will find out what Mithras hopes to accomplish. Yeah, she never promised. Actually, he's not in the palace right now. He went with the royal family to attend a wedding. A wedding, huh? How unusual. I can only assume that he must be there to...
the wedding to help Rod.
Well then, better make use of his absence while I can. I'll see you later, princess. Every time you hear the word princess, it makes me cringe because I'm like, I always hear that in a sarcastic, like, it's like, okay, princess. Well, excuse me. Well, excuse me, princess. I feel like I did it wrong because I never actually watched the Legend of Zelda cartoon, and I've only seen it as a meme, so you know. When I'm left to my own thoughts, my mind returns to the issue of Rod's curse. Sir Mithras mentioned a similarity with the fairy tale, which means I may have the chance of finding out more. I decided to go to the library when I have time to pick up the book. I'm now on my way back to my quarters with the book in hand when I see Rod walking towards me from the other side. His eyes are fixed on the floor, so he doesn't notice me as I approach. Rod? He's still alive. Does that mean that Sir Mithras has succeeded? Oh, it's just you. Rod's voice still comes from Sebi. The realization instills a deep fear inside of me. He's still cursed. How much time does he have left? Much to my surprise, Rod actually smiles at me. His smile looks forced, however, and does not reach his eyes. He looks crestfallen. How was the wedding? I quickly clamped my hand over my mouth after I asked the question. Rod just saw the person he loves getting married today. I already know how he feels. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. Rod looks at me surprised. Then to my shock, he starts chuckling. Why are you laughing? You look like a criminal caught in the act of a crime. I apologize for trying to be sensitive, Your Highness. Without realizing it, I smile back at him. It looks like Rod has finally learned how to converse with me normally. I hope this will not be the last time I see him smile like this. I'm tired, Calisto. I will now retire for the night. Rod looks at me again and smiles. Good night, Calisto. Without waiting for my answer, Rod begins to walk away. I glance down at the book in my hands, then slowly open up to the last page of the Little Mermaid fairy tale. I start reading from the section where the mermaid sister explains how to get her friends back. Take this knife. Before the sun rises, you must plunge it into the heart of a prince, and you will be a mermaid once again. The book falls from my hands and collapses to the floor. I stare at it dumbfounded. Wait, this means Rod needs to kill Viorka? Then the item that Sir Mithras mentioned earlier, could it be the knife? I need to find him! I turn and start running in the direction of Rod's room in hopes I can still be able to catch Sir Mithras there. I'm so sorry, my cat. I thought my mom was around me or something. When I come to the end of the hallway, however, it's not Mithras who stands by Rod's door. Emmeline? Emmeline is slowly walking in the direction of the throne room. Her movement seems oddly mechanical. I rush towards her. Princess Emmeline, where are you going?
Must go to Rod.
Why is she going to the throne room? Rod is back in his room. My eyes catch on something shining in Emmeline's hand. Oh, lovely. My heart nearly stops when I see that it's a knife. Emmeline, what are you...
If he kills his beloved with this blade, his curse will break and he won't die.
It's as if she's in a trance. Is this Sir Mithras doing? Is she under one of his spells? Emmeline, snap out of it! Emmeline starts walking again, ignoring me. When I try to approach her again, thinking to steal away the knife, a shadow suddenly comes to stand between us. Varg looms in front of me, smirking. I don't have a voice for him. Where did you come from? Let me through, Varg. No can do, princess. Don't you want to save the prince? I look at Emmeline, who has not even turned to glance at us. I glare at Varg, who's standing in my way, grinning. Step aside, Varg. Ah, feisty. You're a far more interesting princess than your stepsister. I try to sidestep, but Varg follows my motions. I try again and again, but he just thwarts my progress. He holds his hands up in the air, eyebrows raised. Tell me, what would you do if I let you go? Would you stop him from killing the girl? Rod would never kill her. He would never do anything to harm the person he loves. He refused to do it, and he has no reason to do it now. Varg is silent for a few moments as he considers. Interesting. He steps aside and bows. Go ahead, then. You are letting me go? I would like to see this play, and as it may, without any strings attached. Please don't water mouth. Please don't water. I know this is unprofessional of me to be eating while I'm doing this, but I didn't have dinner. I accidentally skipped that. Anyways, I stop in my tracks when I see Sir Mithras standing just in front of the main door to the throne room. He looks at me expectantly as I approach. Sir Mithras. Good evening, Your Highness. Such a lovely night tonight, isn't it? Only half an hour left before you will turn 18. Do not forget our deal, Princess. Come midnight, I will be requesting your aid in exchange for helping the prince break his curse. I clench my hands into tight fists. Helping the prince break his curse? Rod killing someone is not what I wanted. Sir Mithras puts a finger to his lips. You wouldn't want to attract the attention of the kings, of the knights, would you? There would be quite a bit of explaining to do then. I glare at him, then take a deep breath and lower my voice. You didn't tell me that breaking Rod's curse meant killing someone. Oh, but I'm honoring my end of the deal. But I am only honoring my end of the deal. Perhaps you should have done your research before agreeing. The grin on his lips never wavers, but I can see the amusement in his eyes. I relied entirely on the story Emmeline told me, and that was my biggest mistake. I should have read the full fairy tale. But now it seems you finally know the full story of the Princess Fairy Tale. To break his curse, Rod must kill his beloved with the knife his sister has brought him, just like in the fairy tale. Sir Mithras continues to smile at me. I realize that he's speaking slowly, like one might speak to a child. So condescending. No. Wait. I start to realize that Sir Mithras is purposely drawing out this conversation to stall me. I need to go. Sir Mithras doesn't stop me when I slide past him to open the doors to the throne room. The first thing I see when I enter the throne room is Rod, who's standing in the middle of the area with Emmeline in his arms. Is she alright? Rod gently places Emmeline on the throne. He leans down to look more closely at her sleeping face and reaches down to take the object in her hand before he faces me. I can see the metallic glimmer in his hand and know that he was holding the knife Emmeline brought with her. Where did she even get this knife? He pauses to stare at it, then turns suddenly, eyes widening at some sight in another part of the room. I follow his gaze to the corner of the room where Viorka floats in midair. Her eyes are closed and hands clasped as if she's sleeping. Viorka? But how? Such a pleasant surprise, isn't it? Sir Mithras walks into the room with his hands clasped behind his back. You! Good evening, Your Highness. Is this your doing? Sir Mithras just smiles at him pleasantly. Rod only glares back at him. Guards! Sir Mithras clicks his tongue and chuckles. My apologies, Your Highness, but no one will be able to hear you, no matter how loud you shout. Not even your witch friend will hear everything through magic. He knows Dolores here. I glance around the room and notice that Sir Mithras has created a silent green barrier. This is the same magic he used yesterday. Now, let us get back to the matter at hand. Oh, I'm so glad that this is better. You're running out of time, Prince Rod. It would be a shame to see that you perish here after the princess went through the trouble of asking me to save your life. Way to spill the beans, Mithras! Calisto, what is he talking about? The princess didn't want you to die, so she asked me to help break your curse. God damn, I'm stumbling on my words today. Sir Mithras spreads his arms, gesturing toward both Emmeline and Viorka. And so I've been kind enough to set the stage and gather its actors for what I hope to be a wonderful finale. I can't help but wonder how this fairy tale will end. Why would you do this, Calisto? I did not know it meant killing Viorka, I swear. That's why I came here to stop you. I told you so many times that there was nothing you could do to help me, and yet you still refused to listen to me. Because I refused to let you die. Can you not see that you're important to me, Rod? Oh my, what a scandal. Callisto. I turn to Sir Mithras and stare daggers at him. I asked you to help Rod. Why do you have to involve Emmeline in this? It was necessary. It was a necessary requirement that the princess be the one to give him the knife, Your Highness. It was, after all, the mermaid's sister that brought her the knife to kill her beloved. So that's how she knew about all of this. She came here crying and begging me to break my curse because she didn't want me to die. I almost wanted to do it, but I could never kill someone. That's why I will always refuse to break my curse, even if I really want to live. Perhaps I miscalculated. Well, this can be remedied. Sir Mithros waves his wand. His fingers begin to glow subtly with his magic. God damn it. What are you... Rod! A fingering glow surrounds Rod as he doubles over. What are you doing to him? What I should have done to begin with. The witch who crossed him said that he must do this of his own accord, but seeing as he refuses, I'm going to have to bend the rules slightly. Rod stands abruptly and begins walking towards Viorica. The knife in his hand glistens beneath the patches of scattered moonlight in the room.
Princess, he's going to kill Viorica!
Stop this, Sir Mithros! Where's Delora when we need her? I run towards Rod and wrap my arms around his waist in an attempt to stop him, but whether through magic or his own strength, he continues onwards. I end up being dragged by him. Rod, snap out of it!
Rod!
I must kill her. His gaze is so glassy and his words are so mechanical that he sounds nothing like himself. No! Mithros, stop this! I'm ending our deal! My apologies, Your Highness, but not even I can dispel my magic once it's been cast. Well, what kind of witch are you then? Relentlessly fade of its own volition once what needs to be done is transpired. That perhaps in the most unlikely circumstances, the prince will simply shake the spell himself. Though Mithros' words are apologetic, his expression is anything but. In fact, he looks amused by it all. Not so fast. A crimson ball of light rushes toward Mithros. He waves his hand through the air and is barely able to conjure a shield to protect himself from Delora's magic. Delora! It wasn't exactly easy to find you all, especially with a silencing spell. Such a nuisance. That's not important. Help me stop Rod. Frost slowly appears beneath Rod's feet. It spreads up its legs, freezing him in place. I sigh with relief as it collapses on the floor. My arms are sore with the effort of trying to hold Rod back. Mithros clicks his tongue as he faces Delora. I don't believe you were invited to this play, traitor. Oh, fuck. Light gathers around Mithros' hands. Moments later, he releases the energy towards her. Delora, in turn, conjures a barrier, successfully protecting herself from Mithros' magic. God damn, my words. I always did fancy myself a party crasher. Still, to think that you were alive this whole time. Myth? His real name. He's one of the Tenebrums. Bear's servants. This person was my mother's servant? Allow me to correct you. I'm her only faithful servant. I'm nothing like that ungrateful bastard who betrayed her to the fairies. Who is he talking about? Well, whatever it is that you're planning, forget it now. There's no way we're going to let you get away with it. Oh, well, do try your best. But first, reminder. I am the superior witch here. Energy crackles in the air as sparks begin to form around his hand. The spell has taken longer than his other spells. I notice Delora's worry moments before she's able to cast a shield on herself. This isn't good. Mithros releases bolts of lightning in Delora's direction. The impact causes both the shield and the ground to shudder. Delora! The smoke clears and miraculously, Delora stands unharmed. No sooner has a sigh escaped from my lips than another frightening sound echoes around the room. There's a loud crack and I realize that it's coming from Delora's shield. Everything after that happens in a blur. Delora's still trying to hold the shield up when Mithros casts another spell at it. It shatters and the magic seeps through and hits her directly. Delora! Really now, have you forgotten the most important lesson in defense magic? Always conjure another shield after being hit by a powerful spell. Oh well, I do apologize. I do apologize. Perhaps I did not give you enough time to cast another shield. I thought you'd listen to me. Delora lays on the floor, unmoving. Delora! I'm about to rush to her side when Mithros moves to stand in front of me with a malicious grin on his face. It will do you no good to be in denial, princess. How could you? How could you hurt another witch? It's not a crime to destroy a traitor. He looks back at Delora with clear disdain. Then he sets his eyes back on me and raises his eyebrows. It's foolish of you to try to stop this. You wanted this, and I will not allow you to renegade our deal. Renege. It was not renegade. Renege. The prince will break his curse, and you will help me. Help you. Yes, I went to great pains to make sure Alcaster kept you safe, just so you could repay me. You said that you made a deal with Alcaster to borrow the knight's assistance. And what would I need his knight's assistance for, dear princess? I never needed knights. I just needed Alcaster to keep you safe. I would have gotten rid of him myself if I wasn't sure the king would eventually find me. So this whole time you were only trying to keep me safe? To use me? I'm so sorry, I just realized that there could have been people talking in the chat, but I wouldn't have known because I was not paying attention to the stream. Okay, we're good. To use me? Use is such a simple, ugly word. Remember, I just wanted you to help me. Princess! I turn around and realize that Dolores' spell on Rod has faded and that he's only a few feet away from Viorca. Rod! I force myself to run towards him as fast as I can manage. I will not let you kill anyone! I do not know what I must do to stop him, so the first thing I do that comes to mind. I put myself between Rod and Viorca just as he is about to plunge the knife into her. Princess! I knew it. My body is racked with pain the moment the blade sinks into my shoulder. Ugh. I collapse to the floor and hold on to my injured shoulder. I can feel blood seeping between my fingers. You fool! You would have easily been killed! I do not care. I love Rod, and I would never let him do something that he would forget for the rest of his life. I cringe. Tears cloud my vision as the pain worsens. Calisto. I feel Rod's arms around me as he cradles me to his chest. I look up to see that his eyes are fixed on my bleeding shoulder. Rod looks at me with anguish. He grabs a handkerchief from his pocket and presses it to my shoulder. I can't believe I did this. I stare in shock as his lips move. It's not Sebi speaking, but him. Your voice. You broke a curse. But how? Bright light envelops us, and for a few moments I have to close my eyes against the brightness. I reach out to grab at my necklace, but it's gone. I open my eyes in panic, but the necklace is definitely not there. Calisto, the glass slippers. I glance down to see a pair of smooth glass slippers at my feet. Ah! You broke your curse by breaking mine. I hear the sound of shattering glass and turn to see Mithros staring at a broken vial. What is that? Frost has begun to form at his feet and now spreading its legs. What is happening? Always have a backup, as they say. Seems like you're the one who forgot the basics of combat. Never turn your backs on an opponent unless you're sure that they're dead. Your bloated ego does wonders in turning the tide of battle. Delora is now back on her feet and walking towards Mithros. She dusts off her dress as she moves. God damn, that's badass. Delora is unharmed? You? But how? Did you really think I'd forget to conjure another shield? The frost has now made up its way to Mithros' neck. Inconceivable! A lowly witch like you can never cast this powerful a spell. Dolor gestures at the glass shards on the floor. That's where Parfay's new special potion comes handy. It makes my magic more powerful. The second most basic lesson is to never underestimate your opponent. Looks like you were the terrible pupil. Mithros opens his mouth to speak, or perhaps to scream, but the time he opens his mouth, the frost has completely devoured him, leaving him nothing but an icy sculpture. Delora, Calisto is... Has her bleeding stopped? I think so. I cannot make out what they say after that. My world starts spinning and everything starts to blur, so I close my eyes. I feel Delora's hand on my forehead. The warmth relaxes me somewhat. We got you, princess. Hang in there, Calisto. My body becomes heavier by the second as I lean my head against Rod's chest. and then I feel myself falling into a never-ending darkness. When I open my eyes, the first thing I see are soft rays of sunlight seeping through the window. Oh god! I am in my own room? I attempt to sit up and cringe when I feel a sharp pain in my shoulder. I reach out to touch it, only to realize that it's been neatly bandaged. Wait, what's gonna happen with Rod now? I think I mentioned this before, but now that his curse is broken, wouldn't he just become a commoner again? Because the whole reason his curse came to be is because he wanted to be a prince. I'm curious. Despite the injury, my body feels oddly light, stronger than it even was before. I remember. I placed myself in front of Yorka to stop Rod from hurting her. But where did this energy come from? The door opens and Emmeline walks in with a tray of food in her hands. She stops when she realizes that I'm staring at her, and nearly drops the tray in her rush to stand beside me.
Calisto, you're finally awake! I was so worried about you.
Pines, hello!
I'm so sorry.
I haven't seen that name in a long time, man. God, I feel happy.
This was all my fault.
What are you talking about? It was mine, not yours.
I remember bringing the knife to Rod, but I can't remember much of what happened before or after that. Just when I woke up in the throne room, I saw that you were bleeding in Rod's arms. I thought you were going to...
The rest of Emmeline's words break to pieces as she begins to cry.
I'm so sorry. I'm forgetting you. I made you work hard while you were my personal maid.
I shake my head with a sigh. It was not your fault I was cursed, Emmeline.
But...
I look at her tear-stained face. She was not at fault, yet here she is crying. She really is a good person. I spread my arms.
Calisto?
I turn away, suddenly embarrassed. You looked like you needed a hug. Emmeline stares at me for a few months. I'm about to reconsider when I suddenly feel her arms around me.
Aww! I'm so happy.
I hug her back and stroke her hair. I cannot help but smile at the warmth that spreads in my chest. Thank you. Emmeline pulls back, her face full of concern.
What will happen to you and Rod now? I saw how close the two of you got, and I saw how Rod looked at you last night.
Wait, last night, so today's my birthday and the day I become the bear. Is that the reason I feel so strangely energized?
Oh!
Emmeline walks up to one of my doll shelves and picks up the doll she had placed there months ago.
Happy birthday! I meant to give this to you earlier as a surprise before you were cursed. Anyway, I know it's not as pretty as the other dolls from your collection, but I hope you like it.
It is beautiful, thank you. I take the doll in my arms as a knock sounds on the door. Come in. The door opens and Rod steps aside. Oh, he still has Sebi though. His eyes widen when he sees Emmeline.
Oh, I was just about to leave.
Emmeline slides off my bed and heads for the door, but before she closes it, she turns to us once again.
I know how complicated this will be for the both of you, but I want you to know that I will support you. So my lips are sealed.
Emmeline winks before finally closing the door behind her. There's an awkward silence in the room before Rod approaches me and sits on the edge of the bed. How are you feeling? It still hurts, but it will be fine. What's wrong? I'm just not used to hearing your voice from your own lips. Oh. But I see that you still have Sebi with you. I've grown too fond of him to completely set him aside. He's helped me through a lot.
Bummer I can't read his thoughts anymore.
There was never any need for you to do that in the first place.
Is that so?
Rod shakes his head and slightly. So, what happened last night? How was it that you were able to break your curse? You didn't kill Yorka. In the original fairy tale, the little mermaid could retain her humanity if only the prince loved her back. Though it never happens in the fairy tale, it's still an element of her curse. But still, because the prince never fell in love with her, the only way for the mermaid to live was to kill him. I fell in love with you unknowingly. When you told me you loved me as well as last night, that broke my curse. I feel my cheeks turn warm. Rod coughs, his own cheeks flushed. So, there you have it. Little Mermaid never had a fairy tale ending, but I did. Never had to kill Viorica. But because my curse started with Viorica, I assumed it had to end with her too. It turns out that the person I loved just needed to love me back. I was mistaken. It never needed to be Viorica. I see. We stare at each other for a few moments. The awkward silence is returning. I change the subject as quickly as I can. What became of Sir Mithras? Delora brought him back to Lady Parfait. She is the one who will God damn, what? She is the one who will properly punish him. And what of Viorica? I'm glad the stream is catching up. Delora returned due to her home yesterday. She doesn't remember anything that happened. Everything is back to how it was then? You are back to being my stepbrother. I can't help but feel crestfallen at this truth. Blood binds, but so do sibling bonds. Rod and I can never have what either of us want. I don't want to forget these feelings I have for you, Calisto. If I never made that deal with the witch, then maybe we might have actually been able to be together. But had you not been cursed, our paths would never have crossed. I reached for Rod's hand. He laces his fingers through mine with a small smile. I love you, Rod. I love you too. But Rod leans forward and kisses my cheek. I know.
I'm happy.
1 month later. Ever since I broke my curse and became the new Tenebrarum bearer, I've been training under Parfait and Delora so that I can learn to control my newfound powers. I never wanted this responsibility, but it's a burden I was born into. It's necessary that I help maintain the balance between light and dark that has been missing for so long. Now that I'm the new Tenebrarum bearer, that's probably not even how you pronounce it. Tenebrarum. I don't know. Tenebrarum bearer. Parfait wants the two of us to work together in maintaining that peace. Ah, man, I love her. I totally forgot about her outfit, man. I do not wish to cause any pain or suffering to the people, especially the people whom I cherish. Sometimes I still wonder what Sir Mithras wanted me to do for him, but that's not important anymore. I still have much to learn right now, as the new bearer. My priority is to get rid of the fairy tale curse once and for all. For the time being, everyone at the marsh waits patiently for the day I learn how to lift curses. Since everything transpired, my relationship with Ophelia and Emmeline has improved. Emmeline's fond of calling me the best sister, even though I'm the only one she has. My relationship with the king, however, is yet to be mended. I'm doing my best to open up to him and give him a chance, but the efforts are slow going. I don't ask why he acted the way he did in the past, but I know that in order to move on, I must let go of the past. It's finally time. I've been waiting for this all day. I head back into my room and changed my dress into something less conspicuous. Afterwards, I head out into town and into the forest for my designated meeting. Oh my god. It's a relief that the king allows me to leave the palace on my own. I would not have been able to come here with the guards. I guess it's me being the Tenebrarum bearer puts me at ease. Puts him at ease. If the title reassures him and allows me to come here out on my own to meet Rod, then I'm not complaining. Rod still uses the secret passage he has always used to sneak out of the palace. Emmeline knows about our secret meetings and helps cover for our disappearances if necessary. It makes me happy that Emmeline approves of our relationship, though we do not have to keep it secret from absolutely everyone. At first, Rod and I both attempted to keep our distance without making it seem too obvious to everyone around us. Though Ophelia seems to suspect something going on between the two of us, she has not asked questions. Emmeline wasn't happy with our decision. She said she felt terrible that we would be forced to let go of something so precious on account of our titles. She was right. More than that, it was difficult for the two of us to deny our feelings for each other. In the end, we came up with a solution. I'm so happy and giddy right now because of this good ending. I'm just like... All of my heckin' ice melted, so I have like lukewarm water and cold water. No ice to cool down the water. In the end, we came up with a solution, even if it's temporary. We decided to secretly meet up in the forest every once in a while so that we could be together without any pretenses, even just for a little while. When I caught sight of Rod, I turned towards him and threw my arms around his neck. I feel Rod snuggle his face into the crook of my neck. May I have this dance?
Ah!
I take Rod's hand and begin dancing into a silent song. The first time I danced to him, it was to prove a point. It was when neither of us even liked each other. I remember this as I stare at him. What? Is there something on my face? I was just remembering how much you hated me back then, and now here we are. Faye sure loves to toy with us. I stare at Rod. Just for a little longer. I want to be by his side. I do not know how long we can keep this up, but every day I wish for the same thing. I wish that I can live my life openly, loving Rod. I wonder, will that dream ever be possible?
Ah! I finished it! Ah! I got my ending with the kid.
That's not how clocks work, but I will take it. Ah, man. I don't remember that CG. Did I get that? I'm not sure. Alrighty. So, I'm probably gonna end the stream here because, you know, I started an hour late, and I also have 1.5 pieces of garlic bread, and you guys just wouldn't want me hecking crunching on the bread this whole time. I know this was by Rempy? I didn't even realize, man. It's so well made, man. I've played a lot of Rempy games in my life. And this was a really good one. I really like this. Goddamn. I feel so happy. I'm experiencing all of the Rod moments again. And I remember them. It's beautiful. I think the one that I liked, even though it was sad, was the bad ending. CG, just him turning into sea foam. It was very sad, but it was pretty beautiful. I hope this is alphabetical. Thank you for playing Cinderella Phenomenon. Yeah, I'm gonna continue playing it. I love all of those lilies. I love them lilies because I know that's a pen font. That's a pen in hacking Clip Studio Paint, so I can say for a fact that this game was made in Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint, yes. Yes, Clip Studio Paint. Yeah. Okay. So, we got the merman's voice. He could be a mermaid if he really wants to. Ah! Ah! I got a picture of him now. Ah! Okay, I'm super happy right now. Although I didn't really express it, my two favorite tropes are... Okay, my two favorite tropes, honestly. I know I really love the silent guys. Even though he was cursed to be silent. One of my first love interests in Hatoful Boyfriend was Nagaki. Because he was like a librarian soft boy. He was also tsundere, which is why I also liked him. So, the silent tsunderes are my favorite type. Even though Sakuya was the blatant tsundere in that, he was just like, god damn I have to deal with you. Even though he didn't actually mind it after a while. He's just like, fuck, she's so loud. I just want to read. Even though I've read these books like 2 times over. Probably more than that because, you know, the library is pretty small. But, yeah. I'm talking about another visual novel, a dating sim. Oh, it's a... while playing another dating sim, goddamn. Okay, so... my 2 favorite tropes are the tsundere and the silence. Because apparently, I am a tsundere myself compared to, apparently, to other... What's... Yeah, I can agree, I am a tsundere, I can't deny it. Like, I'm very pouty, but I'm actually, like, very pouty about cute, fluffy things. Like, I may see open right now, but if I ever am in a relationship, I'm, like, very, very soft, but I'm like, stop apologizing. Pouty is the word for it, there we go. Oh, these are notes that I took yesterday. So yesterday was White Day. It was literally White Day because we had snow outside, but it was White Day as in March 14th, which is the normally supposed to be Valentine's Day, but reverse Valentine's Day, because apparently Valentine's Day in Japan is that the girl confesses her love to a guy, or girl if you really want that kind of love, or it just gives people just friendly chocolate. And then 1 month later, on March 14th, the guys respond to her feelings, or I hope he really responded to her feelings beforehand, but he pays back the favor by giving people chocolate. So, you know, giving the girls chocolate, which is normally what people normally do on Valentine's Day, where a guy gets a girl chocolate. Boy, you know. Yeah, I don't really have a lot more to say. This was a great route. I'm just gonna say that. He's beautiful. I love him. Even though he is our, you know, stepbrother, you know. I still really love Rod, and I think he's gonna have a special place in my heart someday. I'm very sorry for calling you Roy multiple times, Rod. I don't even know a Roy, I don't think. Maybe in, like, Harvest Moon or something? Anyways, I don't know. I guess I'll see you all later. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna be playing Rumple's route, as it was obvious. I said when I was, like, taking the crunch. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna play Rumple's route right now, but, you know, I'm very salty about Rumple right now, because okay, hear me out. So, this is kind of spoiled for me, because I went into Google Images, which is never good if you're playing a dating sim, because you'll get spoiled with all of the CGs, unless it's Hatamo's boyfriend. When you don't have CGs, please, Hatamo, please give us CGs of Hatamo boyfriends. Whether it is the bird form, or the heckin' human forms, I don't care. I don't care if Hyoko is a schizophrenic and just sees everybody as birds. I don't mind. Just please. Even though she's not a schizophrenic, actually, they are birds. But you have the option of seeing them in human form. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Even though there is a manga for Hatoful Boyfriend, and there's also the drama CDs for Hatoful Boyfriends, I want them CGs, man. Okay, I'll stop. I will tell you about Rumple when we're playing Rumple's route, because as much as I laugh at Rumple, I know it's to come a little bit. He is, like I gave the examples earlier, he's like Toma and Jian from Amnesia Memories and Dandelion, which is brought to you. And so when I was searching him up, I didn't see him in the bar, and I'm like, oh, why isn't he popular? He's like a great guy. And then when I was scrolling down, I'm like, okay, I'll stop. Okay, I was just like talking because I don't have no one. Oh god, that's spoilers. Not spoilers as in for the game, but for future characters I'm making, because I just got a random spritz of inspiration, and so I'm like, hey, you know this character. I'm gonna make a whole series of characters, 9 in total, based off of the error codes. 101, 202, 303, 404, 505, 606, 707, 808, 909. I'm making characters based off of them and their actual meanings. So I just wrote down like little sayings for them. Like little things that they get introduced with, like there seems to be a problem with your name. How about I replace it? Which is Area 101. Error code 101. Because the code name for that is that when you're logging into IPS, I think, when your EIN or your employer identity number is similar to IRS, the .gov. The Internal Revenue Service does offer an online application tool for receiving EIN numbers. An EIN, or Employer Identification Number, is a number of business that needs to report and pay employee withholding taxes. As anything involving the IRS, though, it's not always easy to make this tool for you work for people. Many people or business that apply an EIN online receive a 101 error that face a lengthy, tedious process to obtain an EIN number. Something as simple as phoning the IRS for assistance when calculating this online application would become a nightmare of lengthy and confusing calls. So pretty much what it is the EIN number is too similar to another person's, even if it is, another person in another company. So that's pretty much all the EIN, the Error 101 is. So I was just like, this name seems to be taken. There seems to be a problem with your name. So how about replacing it? And I have, like, something planned out for each person. I'm not sure if they're gonna be, like, AIs or anything, or, like, computer bugs. I'm not sure what they're gonna be as of this moment, but I'm just gonna make humanized designs for them. Okay, I'm so sorry, this went off on tangent. I'm just gonna say I love Roy. He's a beautiful boy. I've always had affinity for the Cinderella fairy tale, and so I never really learned about the heckin' Little Mermaid, so I'm gonna get a taste of every one. I never really learned about any of these, for that matter. I think he has the Beauty and the Beast, which I'm very familiar with that because that's my mom's favorite fairy tale. Little Red Riding Hood, I know what it is. The Neverland, I never really knew. Neither Rumpelstiltskin. Except for what has been explained for the Rumpelstiltskin. So, Neverland is very unfamiliar to me, even though I do like the heckin' idea of escaping to another land. Escaping to another land and fighting pirates with Peter Pan. And Captain Hook with Peter Pan. That's all I literally know. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking because it's been 7 minutes of me just non-stop talking, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna be really annoying to other people who, want to binge watch this. So I'm just gonna say right now, I should have said this a long time ago. That's good ending. Yeah, that's pretty much all. Okay, so I'll see you guys later. I will be back on Monday. It is Thursday. I will be back on Monday. Hopefully on time, so I can do the